Well, down about 1% still for the market, looking a bit jittery in the Friday session. Some bit of profit booking coming in after days of consolidation.
Yeah, blame it on global markets, blame it on monsoon, but yes, we are a bit soft in trade today. Though must say, there is quite a bit of activity in the broader markets. So while the index may be flat and, I mean, in fact, down 1%, and just maybe a couple of stocks which are in the green, if at all, with majority of the stocks in the red. But mind you, there is no big sell-off that has come into index heavyweights. Look at the broader markets, and that's what I want to point towards. A lot of stock-specific moves. Glenmark Pharma, very good set of numbers, up 4% in trade. Tech Mahindra is seeing the rub-off of Mahindra Satyam numbers as well, and that has done extremely well. So Tech Mahindra is up 6%, Mahindra Satyam is up 7%, good going. Berger Paints, and we'll get the management in just moments from now. Despite a bit of a lackluster set of numbers, 5.5% up for Berger Paints as well. Dishman Pharma resumes the journey upwards, so after some bit of profit booking yesterday, has done very well for itself, and call it monsoon day, call it the monsoon impact, call it maybe the prices going up, but the entire sugar pack, for example, has done very well. So Balrampur, Bajaj, Renuka have had a fairly decent session in trade. Last, but I just want to check the price of McLeod Russell and see if that is also in the green, because sugar as a pocket has done very well. Not so much for a McLeod Russell, that's flat in trade. And put up a Jet Airways ahead of the numbers. We'll get the previews going. The poll, of course, suggests maybe a loss, but clearly the market believes that the numbers will be much, much better than what the street is working with as of now. 1.5% higher for Jet Airways in the session.
All right, get in specific brokerage calls this morning, as always, starting off with Macquarie's take on certain stocks. They have, of course, downgraded Adani Power to neutral. Brokerage has cut FY 13 earnings estimates by 81% and fiscal 14 by 15% on lower plant load factors and higher coal costs. Macquarie has cut the target price from 60 rupees earlier to 39 now, expecting a 10% slide in the stock's performance from current levels. The stock is down about 1% in the session. UBS, on the other hand, maintains a sell rating on Mahindra Satyam with a price target of 65 rupees. Brokerage sees no upsides to the counter. Essentially, they believe that the current dollar revenue growth estimate is at about 6.6% year-on-year, and remain worried that price reductions could put ITS revenue and earnings forecasts at risk, and that would be a bit of a dampener for Mahindra Satyam. The stock, however, in the session is up 7%. Let's just get in a dealer perspective as always at the start of the show. So touch base with Darshan Gargi today to get their views on what dealers are recommending. Darshan, come to you first. What are you picking up from your sources?
Jet Airways will come out with numbers today, and we've been saying this for the past few days here, that, the entire street anticipates, that the profit number with the revenue numbers and the sales and the profit number will be much higher than what the street is anticipating. CET now poll indicates a loss of 90 crores, but, with the situation as far as Kingfisher and Air India is concerned, and what we saw with the SpiceJet numbers that came in, the street, and since that day, Jet Airways has been moving up. So clearly everyone anticipates that the number will be coming much ahead what the anticipation is. The next counter is Tata Global Beverages, and dealers are recommending on the basis of technical trends. Clearly a breakout is seen on the counter, and levels of almost 135 to 137 in the short term is seen on Tata Global Beverages. And third one is Dr. Reddy's, in which quite a few of the institutional desks have indicated that some of these big foreign funds are actively accumulating Dr. Reddy's at every level.
Okay, we'll watch out for those stocks, Jet Airways in particular. Of course, Tata Global Beverages has had a good run in today's session as well over the last 2 or 3 days. Nitesh's call as well. Thanks for that, Darshan. Gargi, what are your sources telling you?
Well, Neeraj, worth looking at a Tata Steel. Dealers expecting further downside on that counter. Remember that we've seen, steel companies, especially the ones with a global exposure, not doing too well. In fact, remember that the S&P has downgraded ArcelorMittal further yesterday, and on the back of that, we're seeing a sharp decline on Tata Steel, almost 3%. Dealers expecting 375 levels that we can see on Tata Steel in the next few trading sessions. So keep an eye out for Tata Steel. KSK Energy, the other one where dealers are recommending a buy. In fact, a few fund managers that we spoke to expect that, there may be a shift of focus from companies like NTPC or some other PSU, power-related companies to some private power producers. KSK Energy being one of them. The results are tomorrow. There probably could be an announcement, some positive news on captive coal front. That could be, the key positive for the counter going forward. Oracle Financial, a further upside seen from the current levels that we are seeing on Oracle Financials. In fact, the next target that dealers have is 2,900. Remember, the numbers this time around, if you compare it with last year, have been really strong. 36.8 crores that they've posted, 80% above last year levels. Right now, almost 4.5% increase coming in on Oracle.
4.5% higher, yes, and that's really made a smart up move in today's trade. Mind you, started moving in the last 1 hour of trade yesterday as well. Darshan and Gargi, thanks so much for joining in and giving us that perspective. Let's get in our technical experts to speak about a couple of these stocks. One from Darshan's dealing room recommendations and one from what Gargi's dealers have told her. Deepak and Prakash, thanks so much for joining in. I'll start off with Jet Airways. That's seen a steady uptrend for the last 3 or 4 sessions. Prakash, what's the sense? You think it can do more?
As far as Jet Airways is concerned, the stock is up last since couple of days. Structurally, I would say that 370 seems to be a strong support zones. On the upside, we could see an upward, but maybe to around 390 zones. I don't expect anything beyond 390. This way, the profit booking should come.
What about OFSS, Oracle Financial, Prakash? Is that looking good? Because it's notched up another 4.5% in today's trade. The question is, can it actually go higher from these 2750 kind of levels?
Well, let me pull out a chart for this Oracle Finance. ORA. Let me feel. Well, Oracle Finance is looking good to me. It's seen a beautiful up move. Structure is positive. Very strong support on these levels of 2,500 or so. I think it's waiting for a breakout, and the breakout should come in. If it breaks close about 2,700, in that event, I would say 3,000 should be reached. It's a matter of time, but looks like it's up in very, very strong support around 2,600.
All right. That's, of course, a quick perspective coming in on Oracle Software. Deepak, come to you. What do you make of today's market slide and where we go from here, really?
It's in keeping with what's happening in global markets. The market came close to entering an intermediate uptrend till yesterday. Didn't really quite make it, but I think it will possibly get there. It's not particularly weak. The sort of decline we've got today after a 4-5 day run up is not totally out of whack.
Okay, let's, gentlemen, stay on. We'll get your stock recommendations on the other side as well as get a management on earnings call. Berger Paints is extremely active and touch base with the management on the other side. The market's looking weak, but individual stocks are doing the rounds. We'll talk more about them in just a bit.